good morning. Sorry, we were just talking about the rain yesterday morning. It's afternoon, excuse me. Good afternoon. Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Lal, and this is going to be the Fulton State Expedited Accusation Calendar. Individuals were recently arrested and booked at the Fulton County Jail. Soon after being booked in, the prosecutor has already accused these cases, hence it's with the State Court of Fulton County. When I call your case, I will tell you the accusation number, the charges brought against you, who is your attorney, your bond, and your next court date. For those of you who receive a release bond, either through pretrial services or through the jail, your next court date will be mailed to you at a mailing address that hopefully is a good address for you to receive notices. Please remember that this is an active criminal case against each of you. So if you have a charge or charges brought against you pursuant to an arrest, please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of your case during the course of this virtual proceeding, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, we do have public defense counsel and conflict counsel who will represent you. If we have alleged victims who are present at the Zoom, please make sure that you start your video and unmute your screen when your particular case is called. Who do we have at the seat, please?
Good afternoon, Judge Law. This is position 9, Ms.
Okay.
Williams.
Thank you. This is Ms. Bertha May Williams, case number 22 CR 002088C. Ms. Williams, you've got a criminal trespass charge against you with regards to Georgia State University property from yesterday. You have been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Wanda Gant. Mr. Tucson, how many cycles? Okay. Mr. Tucson is unavailable. Okay, he's announced 47 cycles. Ms. Harmon, what's your recommendation for a bond?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. The state's recommendation in this case.
I don't want no bond. I do not want a bond. I don't want a bond now.
Remain silent, Ms. Williams.
Fuck you, bitch. I don't give a damn. I don't want a bond, bitch.
Bond is set at $2,000. It is a good bond. Stay away from GSU property, and we will see Ms. Williams. What's the next court date? Is it the 14th or the
19th?
19th.
No, I'm sorry, the 21st. We start a new day today.
Okay.
April 21st.
We will see Ms. Williams on April 21st. Miss, please mute courtroom 2. Yes, Ms. Gant, if you'd like to make a statement for the record.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Williams is 51 years old. She has been in the Atlanta area for 2 years. She has family here, including children who are in their 30s. At this time, we are opposed to the stay away. Well, Your Honor, we are unopposed to the stay away at 44 Cortland Avenue, but would ask that she be allowed to visit other Georgia State University properties, being that university is vast and we don't want to put her in a position to unknowingly violate a stay away order. Ms. Williams completed, she obtained a GED. She states that she also is certified as an administrative assistant. She is unemployed. She's unable to pay anything toward bond. Therefore, I am requesting a signature bond on Ms. Williams' behalf. She does have a foreign county hold, and I believe that a signature bond would help her to go ahead and deal with the issue in Norcross. Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor, if
Yes.
I may briefly, I would be opposed to anything outside of what you've already done, the $2,000 good bond and the stay away. We need that to stay in place because Ms. Williams is actually on probation from case 21 SC 177.
Yes, she's got a burglary probation. I know.
And that was against Georgia State University. So I think she does need to stay off all of their premises.
Understood. Thank you, Ms. Harmon. Bond remains the same, and she's to stay away from any property that belongs to Georgia State University. She does have a Norcross hold with regards to a failure to appear. So if she does make bond, she cannot be released. She can only be released to the Norcross authorities. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next court date is April 21st. Francois, we may remove her before we commence with the next case, please.
Position 4, Ms. Artisan.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask for a breakout for this case.
All right, Francois, we're going to put this case on hold and until we complete the other cases, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, you can go ahead and do the breakout, that's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, it's no problem.
Okay. Mr. Jordan, or whoever is hosting, if you could place me, Ms. Sari, Ms. Falk, and Ms. Gant in a breakout, please.
Your Honor, if I also may request Ms. Harmon be included, she is one of
Oh.
our new attorneys.
Definitely. All right. Mr. Jordan, please.
Me, Miss
include
Middlebrooks, Judge, okay.
And Ms. Middlebrooks, I also see Ms. Bacchus is here. If she can be included too, she is also one of our newer attorneys, and I would like for her to see the process.
What was the name? You said Bacchus?
Bacchus, Brittany Bacchus.
Brittany Bacchus?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, I'm
So much for 2:30.
All right. With regards to Genia Edrington, case number 22CR 002082G. Ms. Genia Edrington is presently accused of 3 counts of terroristic threats, 2 counts of obstruction of a law enforcement officer, and 1 count of simple assault. This incident allegedly occurred on April 6, 2022. Ms. Edrington, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Wanda Gent. After a sidebar conference with your attorney, as well as counsel from the prosecutor's office, and given the fact that you have a very minimal criminal history record, your bond is going to be set at $1,000 on each count. That's going to be $6,000 signature bond through pretrial services. You will be interviewed by pretrial, and you'll be released on pretrial services, and you will report to pretrial once a month. While you're on pretrial release bond, you will not consume any alcoholic beverages and no illegal drugs, and you cannot possess any weapons and any firearms. So if you possess any weapons or any firearms, you need to surrender them to the local authorities. You are to attend and complete a MHET, and pretrial officer will explain what that is to you, and that must be done within the next 3 months at your expense. Your next court date will be sent to you at your Chestnut Street address. You may return to that location. In the meantime, with regards to the 2 minor victims involved, you are to have no further contact with them until further order of the court. The minors may be placed in the custody of either Child Protective Services, or they may be placed in the custody of their respective father or their grandmother, Erica Edrington. That would be something that defects can coordinate with these individuals. But presently, they cannot reside with you, and you're to stay 200 yards away from them and not have any contact with either one of them. Do you understand, Ms. Edrington?
Yes, I do.
All right. If you violate any of the conditions of these bonds, you will be arrested, and your bond will be converted to either a $6,000 surety bond or a cash bond only. Thank you.
Next, we have position 5, Mr. Johnson.
Your Honor, if we may move on to a different one, I'm trying to get some information on Mr. Johnson.
All right, Francois, may we take another case, please?
Position 1, Ms. Adams.
There we go. We have Melissa Amanda Adams accused of criminal trespass and damage to property on March 26, 2022. Ms. Adams, your case number is 22CR 002080B, and you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Wanda Gent. I believe, Mr. Tucson, this is a first arrest.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Segura, yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. The state
Right,
is
sir.
recommending a $3,000 signature bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons. I stay away from the instant location at 4508 Dawes Circle, South Fulton, and no further contact with Don Wilson. And we'd like to emphasize that no further contact and a stay away, as Miss Dawn Wilson's window was broken and things could have escalated had someone actually believed the defendant's yelling of help. Thank you.
Understood. Well, Ms. Band, unless you have any objection, I'm going to accept the state's recommendation. It's going to be a $3,000 signature bond for pretrial. Is that all right? I'm sorry, you're on mute, Ms. Gant.
No objection to the bond or to the conditions, nor to the conditions.
All right. So Ms. Adams, your bond is going to be a signature bond. You don't have to pay for it presently. It will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial. You will report to pretrial once a month, and you're not to consume any illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and no firearms. You're to have no further contact with Dawn Wilson. You're to stay 200 yards away from Miss Wilson and not communicate with her in any way, form, or manner, or even through a third party or on social media. What's the name of her son, Mr. Segura?
Our son's name is Jawad Bethune. Jawad spelled Jawaad. Bethune, Bethune.
All right. You're to have no further violent contact with Jawad Bethune, which means that you cannot have any physical or verbal altercations with him.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I do apologize for interrupting. She does not want any contact with Mr. Bethard, Mr. Jawad Bethard. She plans on filing a restraining order against him.
Well, I guess that works out perfectly then. All right. So, but right now I'm just putting no further violent contact with him. And she's to stay 500 yards away. That's the length of 5 football fields from 4508 Dawes Circle in South Fulton, Georgia. If you are seen anywhere near that location or you communicate in any way, form, or manner with Don Wilson, your signature bond will be revoked and converted to a cash or surety bond. Your next court date will be sent to you at your address. And I'm assuming we have a good address on Miss Adams.
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
All right, I have a Hanaya Drive, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, so her notice for a court date will be sent that time. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, is there a Ronald Boatner there? Francois, may I take that case?
What's the position and the name?
Position 2.
Okay, yes.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Boatner's case is 22 CR 002087C. He's been accused of 3 separate counts of cruelty with regards to an incident on March 26, 2022. Mr. Tucson, I believe this is his first arrest as well.
Yes.
All right. He's been advised of his right to remain silent, and his attorney is Ms. Wanda Gant. Mr. Segura, with all due respect, I've already read the warrants. They are pretty graphic, so I really rather not get into the details. I'm going to set a bond of a $3,000 signature bond on each count. That's a total of a $9,000 signature bond to pretrial services. He will report to pretrial once a month. He's not allowed to own any kind of pet at home, and no weapons and no firearms. Anything else, Mr. Segura?
None on my end.
All right, Ms. Gant?
Your Honor, we are unopposed to the signature bond, but I would ask that the amount be reduced to $2,000 for each charge. $9,000 seems excessive.
No, it's not. It just means don't get arrested, report to pretrial, and don't own any pets, and you'll be just fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Boatner, your notice for your next court date is going to be mailed to you at your address, and you'll have to appear in court. Do you have any questions about your bond?
No.
Repeat?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Can we go back to position 5, Mr. Johnson?
I presume so. Terence Johnson, position number 5.
Yes,
All
Your Honor.
right. Mr. Terence Johnson, case is 22 CR 002085F, accused of battery from a December 22nd, 2021 incident. Mr. Tucson, any prior convictions?
13 total arrests.
Mhm.
He's on probe. Hold on. He has an open case for felony theft by receiving and an open drug case in Smyrna. As far as violence, where we at? I see October 2020, cruelty in the 3rd, theft by taking, ag assault, ag battery out of Douglas County. I don't have a disposition for that.
All right, I'm sorry, that's good, thank you.
Okay.
And, okay, got it. I was just checking his date of birth. Ms. Sari, what's your bond recommendation?
Your Honor, the state's recommendation is a $3,500 surety bond with conditions of no contact with the victim, a stay away from 4710 Tree Lodge Parkway in Atlanta, 1-day anger awareness course, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Okay.
Your Honor, I would also like to point out in this defendant's history, a 2018 ag assault, a 2018 possession of firearm during a felony, possession of a pistol under 18, that was a guilty conviction, reckless conduct, guilty conviction. He also had a simple battery family violence where he completed diversion in exchange for a dismissal, and a 2020 disorderly conduct that was a guilty conviction.
Okay. Have we got any feedback from the alleged victim?
One second, Your Honor. The report that we have did not have contact information for the victim, so we are still in the process of obtaining that information. But Your Honor, due to the nature of this case,
Yes, I've read the warrants. I've read.
right, we are asking
Okay.
for that stay away.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Terence Johnson is 21 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He has his entire family here. Your Honor, we are unopposed to the stay away order at 4710 Tree Lodge Parkway. We also are unopposed to the no contact order. Mr. Johnson advises me that he does not know Angel Hambrick. Mr. Johnson completed Mays High School. He also attended college. He has a degree in business and media entrepreneurship. No, I apologize. He is currently enrolled at Georgia State studying business and media entrepreneurship. He is set to graduate this spring. He is currently working an internship with a record label and an entertainment lawyer. Your Honor, again, he denies the allegations. He states that when this alleged incident occurred December 21st, 2021, he was in a supervised program where he was unable to have contact with where it was physically impossible for him to have contact because he was in a supervised program, and he states that he has documentation of that. Regarding my client's history, according to Odyssey in 2018, case number 18 SC 161446, there was an aggravated assault charge initially, but that case was not prosecuted. There was a guilty finding for reckless conduct and possession of a firearm. The disorderly conduct, 20 SC 174974, that disorderly conduct was filed as identity fraud, and there's a guilty conviction there. We do not, simple battery diversion, as I understand it, if he completes the conditions, that does not count as a conviction. He is presumed innocent in these open cases. I did not hear about any convictions for violence. Therefore, I am requesting a signature bond on Mr. Johnson's behalf. And if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then a bond of no more than $1,000. Again, we are unopposed to the no contact and stay away orders. Thank you.
I'm sorry, which case does he contend that there is a mistaken identity?
The 20 SC 174974 case. In Odyssey, it states that the disorderly conduct was filed as identity fraud.
No, Your Honor, she stated that the defendant is claiming that he, for this very case, that there's a mistaken identity. And
No,
that he does not know.
that's not what I'm saying. The judge asked me about the case where he is, where it's filed as identity fraud, and I just gave her a case number.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he's not saying, are they saying they arrested the wrong person?
What I am saying is that what I see in Odyssey is filed as identity fraud. He was ultimately found guilty for disorderly conduct.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, if I may,
No, I'm good. Thank you, Ms. Sari. What's my biggest concern is that, yes, Mr. Johnson has lived here his entire life, but it's a very young life. And since I don't know, at least I know in Fulton County, since 2018, he's had interaction with law enforcement every year. And I'm not certain what's going on in this young man's life, but bond is set at $3,000. It's a surety bond. Next court date is April 21st. If he has the documents to support a possible alibi, I'll be glad to look at it on April 21st. And no contact with Angel Hambrick, to stay away from 4710 Pre-Lodge Parkway in Atlanta, Georgia. No drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons, and no firearms. And I don't know if he has any holds anywhere, but.
Your Honor, and this was the case I had asked we hold off on because I needed to check on something, which I think is what Ms. Sowery was trying to tell you about. Which
I'm
is,
so sorry. Okay.
Yes, he actually has a Douglas County case, which I just got off the phone with Douglas County to make sure the case is still open and active, where he had a different victim received, is a 2020, I believe it's a 2020 case. And he's currently out on a $22,000 bond with conditions of stay away and to complete a DV therapy course in that case. And so that was the additional information I was trying to obtain because I had asked, that's why I asked for a moment so I could find out if he has an open case where he's still on bond.
No, I'm not concerned about the case open with bond. I'm just wondering whether he has any outstanding warrants where he needs to be released to another hold.
He does not, but obviously that would go to the bond factors. So that's why we wanted to hold off.
That's up to the bonding company. All right. Anything else, Ms. Gant? We good?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. This is reset to April 21st. And like I said, if he has those documents to indicate he was elsewhere, that would be good to see on April 21st. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I just wanted to let you know his mother was actually here. She's actually here standing in the galley.
Okay, please let her know his bond is $3,000 surety bond. And if he does make bond, then we need to get a good address so he can get his notices. Thank you.
All right. Next, we have position number 6, Mr. Charles Robinson. Position number
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Charles Julius Robinson, case number 22 CR 002-084G, is charged with carrying a weapon in a courthouse in violation of OCGA 16-11-127B2 on April 6, 2022, involving the City of Atlanta Traffic Court. This is case number, this is a misdemeanor offense. And Mr. Robinson, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Ms. Gant. Mr. Tucson, is Nashville, Tennessee resident?
Correct.
Okay. Ms. Sowery, what's your recommendation for bond?
Yes, Your Honor, our recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond with conditions of no, stay away from the incident location while on bond and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. And we are concerned, being that he is a Tennessee native, of his him not returning back to court to answer for the charge.
Understood. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Robinson is 26 years old, and my client advises me that he was born and raised in Atlanta and that he has family here. Mr. Robinson, and the stay away is at 150 Garnet Street. That's a courthouse. So we would be opposed to that. Mr. Robinson completed high school. He has a bachelor's in psychology. He, at this time, has not been actively engaged in regular employment. He has been more so doing odd jobs for the last month. He is set to start with the moving company on Monday. Your Honor, he disputes the allegations. He states that he was unaware that this unloaded handgun was in his handbag. He states that when he was made aware of it by court personnel, he asked if he could leave. They denied him the right to leave. He stated that he waited 45 45 minutes or so and then was taken into custody. He states that that bag is one that other family members use. My client does not have the pretrial report that I received states that my client does not have any criminal history whatsoever. He is recommended for a signature bond, and that is my request, Your Honor, that he receive a signature bond. And again, we are opposed to the stay away, as that I understand is the City of Atlanta Traffic Court. Thank you.
Bond set at $500. It is a good bond. No weapons and no firearms. And right now we just have a Tennessee driver's license and a Tennessee address. So we will send him, his next court date is April 21st. If he does make bond, we will send him notice to whatever address we have on file to show up in court. If he doesn't show up in court, well, we issue a bench warrant and they tend to go nationwide, even in Nashville. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what were the conditions again?
No weapons, no drugs, no firearms, and no alcohol.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what was that bond amount again? I'm sorry.
$500.
And that's just a good bond, correct?
Yeah. It's a weapons charge. It's a good bond.
Yep. That's all we have over here, Your Honor. We complete here.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have another calendar? Okay. Deputy Milton. All right, we ready?
Yes, Your Honor, I am. Before you is position number 3, Ms. Booker.
Okay. All right, Deputy, if you want to accompany. Deputy?
Yes.
Deputy, excuse me.
Deputy, if you want to accompany, yeah, up to the podium, please. We have someone in support of Ms. Booker in the courtroom. I just want to make sure that she is. No, she has to come up to the podium right here so that she can see the screen. All right. We have Zion Booker, case number 22 CR 002081D, accused of battery. The original warrant was for simple battery, but the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has upgraded the charge to battery. This is from a March 1st, 2022 incident and involving one Shania Adams. Okay. Ms. Booker, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of your case during the course of this proceeding, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you is Ms. Wanda Gann. Mr. Tucson, I understand this is a first arrest, correct?
Yes, resident of Macon.
Oh, okay. Mr. Segura, what's the recommendation, please?
The state is recommending a $4,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, 1-day anger awareness, a stairway for the instant location at 800 West Marietta Street, Northwest, apartment 333, and no further contact with Shania Adams. Shania spelled S-H-I-N-A-Y-A, Adams, common spelling. We'd like to emphasize that the reason we upgraded from a simple battery to a battery was because the defendant and some friends, at least 6 of her friends, attacked Miss Adams, which resulted in 2 contusions of her forehead, a busted lip, and bruises of her body. And we also like to emphasize that both of these individuals, Miss Adams and the defendant, are roommates, and they live in an apartment that's near Georgia State and Georgia Tech. So we're deeply concerned because Miss Adams is a student, and since April, we know that this is a trying period since I believe in about a month, finals will begin. So mostly for her safety, because of the damage she received, and especially from the quantity of people who inflicted pain on her, and considering this trying time for studies, we feel like our recommendations are warranted.
Mr. Segura, do you know if Ms. Booker was still occupying that apartment since March 1st?
We don't yet.
Okay. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Zion Booker is 20 years old. She informs me that she relocated to the Atlanta, Georgia area in October of 2021 to attend, well, she is enrolled at Benedict College in South Carolina. She relocated to Atlanta for employment, and she is attending online college classes. She no longer resides at that 800 West Marietta Street Northwest apartment. She states that she moved out after this incident occurred. Therefore, Your Honor, we are unopposed to any stayaways and she does not want contact with the complaining witness, Ms. Shania Adams. She does not have any belongings there, so we are not asking for a one-time law enforcement escort. Ms. Booker now resides in Macon, Georgia, but she does have cousins in Conyers, Georgia.
I beg your pardon? She has what?
Cousins in Conyers, Georgia.
Okay.
An Atlanta suburb. Ms. Booker, again, is enrolled in college. She is a junior. She's studying accounting. She is unemployed and basically has been focusing more so on being a student. Whenever she worked, it was in a part-time capacity. The last time she worked anywhere was in February of 2022. Therefore, she does not have the means to make much of anything toward bond. She denies the allegations, Your Honor. She states that when she moved into that residence or that shared residence with Ms. Adams and other roommates, Ms. Adams had been antagonizing her. She states that she has a witness, Violet, who is also a roommate there. She states that the harassment from Ms. Adams worsened over time. She states that on the date of this incident, they were having a verbal discussion. She states that Ms. Adams attacked her. She states that she bit her and that Ms. Booker states that she was merely defending herself. She states that she still has the scar on her hand from the bite. She denies that there were 5 or 6 other people that were there assaulting Miss Booker.
I'm a little confused. She wasn't at the scene, I believe.
No, Your Honor. Miss Booker informs me that on the date of this incident, she was at the scene. She states that there were not 5 or 6 people participating in an assault against Miss Booker.
Just one second. The alleged incident occurred on March 2nd, 2022 at 12:08 a.m. and the officers responded that same day, but she wasn't at the scene. Was she at the scene when the police arrived?
Miss Booker, are you able to clarify if you were at the scene when the police arrived?
No.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Gant. Her bond is going to be set at $5,000. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. And like you said, she doesn't attend any, which college is she attending?
Benedict College in South Carolina.
Okay. She'll need to report to pretrial the first time in person. And then after that, I will allow for phone-in call-ins. She's to have no contact with Shania Adams. That means to stay 200 yards away from her. Do not communicate with her in any way, form, or manner, including third person, cell phone, computers, social media. If Miss Adams discovers that you are discussing her or referencing her on any social media platform, all she has to do is let the cops know, and this signature bond will be revoked. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to consume any illegal drugs, no weapons and no firearms. And your next court date will be sent to you at your current mailing address. We have a Macon address. All right. And you are very young and embarking on your career. If you don't get this thing resolved, it's going to have a very, very adverse impact on your career plans. Understood?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you need to work very hard to stay out of trouble and work with your attorney to resolve this case. Okay, thank you.
This is
Anything
for
else, ma'am?
Judge. You heard me?
Yeah, I heard you.
How's she
Sorry,
gonna-
ma'am, what was that?
No, I was just, I didn't, after you said signature bond, I didn't know if there's anything required.
If she
from
gets
you.
arrested again for anything else, pretrial will revoke that bond and she'll have to pay 5,000 to get out of jail next time,
Okay, so will she be released today or?
within 24 hours. You can go down, if you're planning to pick her up, it'll take about 24 hours. Okay,
You said you
Thank
want her
you.
to report in person.
first time.
Who's she gonna report to?
How do y'all do first time reports?
Zoom?
In Zoom?
Now?
Okay. Okay, she can report to pretrial in any way that you want, but once she goes back to college, y'all need to make arrangements for that. Okay, next case, Deputy Milton?
Position number 7, Ms. Slay.
Okay. We have Kamitris Rochelle Slay accused of simple battery domestic violence on February 26, 2022. Case number 22 CR 002086J. Ms. Slay, you've been advised of your right to remain silent and your attorney is Ms. Wanda Gant. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
6 total. She don't have any violence.
Okay. What was the last conviction or arrest?
Last arrest was 2013 shoplifting
All right,
conviction.
thank you. Ms. Harmon? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. Our recommendation in this case is a $3,000 surety bond. No further contact with the victim, Isaiah Smith, common spelling. Stay away from the incident location, excuse me, 1144 Blue Ridge Avenue, Northeast in Atlanta. We will also request a one-time escort with law enforcement for her to retrieve any of her belongings from the incident location. We are also requesting third-party transfer of the party's shared child, a one-day anger awareness course, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. These, the bond and the conditions that we are requesting are because of, we believe that she presents a danger to the victim. Your Honor, I know you're familiar with the warrant and the details of the case. However, I want to highlight the fact that she let herself into the home uninvited. She used the keyless entry pad. She was upset because Mr. Smith had guests at his home and she attempted to start a fight with some of his guests. He tried to de-escalate the situation. And as he was turning his back to kind of walk away from her, she threw the sports drink down that he gave her and struck him on the back. And this all occurred in front of their minor child, who was 5 years old. Our office was able to speak to Mr. Smith this morning, excuse me, and the victim, Mr. Smith, indicated that he and the defendant are not currently in a relationship. They only have the one child together. He is in support of a no contact, and he would like for the defendant to stay away from his residence. He is also in the support of the one-time law enforcement escort and the third-party transfer of the child. And I believe I did see his name on the Zoom. Yes, and even though the history is remote and she doesn't have a lot of history, I do think the bond and the conditions are warranted given the fact that this occurred in front of their child and it was kind of an unprovoked attack upon the victim. Nothing further from the state.
Thank you. Mr. Isaiah Smith, if you want to address the court, you can unmute your screen and start your video. Otherwise, you are free not to say anything.
Your Honor.
Hi, Your Honor. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Just 1 second, sir. Yes, Ms. Gant?
If I may be heard before Mr. Smith?
Oh, certainly. Please proceed.
All right, thank you. Your Honor, Ms. Kamitris Slay is 46 years old. She has been in the Atlanta area her entire life. She has family here. She has one 6-year-old that she shares with Mr. Smith. She also has 2 other children, ages 18 and 23, that she does not share with Mr. Smith. She informs me that she is the primary caretaker for the 6-year-old and that she is not receiving child support. We are unopposed to the stay away at 1144 Blue Ridge Avenue, but would ask for the one-time law enforcement escort, as Ms. Slade informs me that she was in the process of moving out and that she has the means to secure another residence. Your Honor, Ms. Slade completed high school along with 2 years of college in business marketing management. At this time, she is unemployed. She states that she had to leave her job in February 2020 because of concerns with childcare. She states that she had been in that prior job for 4 years at JB Hunt as a truck driver. She denies the allegations. She states that Mr. Smith invited her to come there. She states that, in fact, he persuaded her to come live with him. She denies the allegations. She states that Mr. Smith has been violent toward her on multiple occasions. The most recent incident was 3 weeks ago in West Virginia. She states that he is controlling and bullying, and that when she tries to move out, he does whatever he does to stop her from moving. She also states that he was violent toward her in February 2022, where he broke her glasses. And she states that she has pictures of this incident. My client's history shows that she does not have any convictions for violence. Her last her last conviction for a non-violent offense was almost 10 years ago. She does not have the means to pay bond. I am requesting a signature bond on her behalf. Again, we do not believe that she poses a danger to Mr. Smith nor to the community, as she wants to leave him and has been trying to leave the residence. Regarding the no contact and stayaways, again, we are unopposed to those. And with regard to the child, she intends to take custody of that child, and she is not opposed to any third-party transfer orders, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your Honor, I forgot to mention, even though it is a more remote FTA, an FTA nonetheless from 2009, which does demonstrate that she may not return to court. And I think that would justify more our argument for the surety bond in this case, and not just a signature.
And Your Honor, I would be remiss in saying that is over 10 years ago, Your Honor. And I would ask that you not.
So noted, so noted. Okay. Mr. Smith, I'm sorry. Did you want to add anything?
Not really, Your Honor. I appreciate.
Okay, if you don't, I have 3 questions.
Yes.
Does Miss Slay have any property at your location at 1144 Blue Ridge Avenue?
She does, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
And where is the child with whom you share with Miss Slay?
He's currently in his room.
Okay. And have you filed, is this child born out of wedlock?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you legitimated the child?
We are in the process. We haven't.
Let me ask you a simple question. Have you filed the paperwork to legitimate the child?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that answers that. Thank you. All right. Bond is set at $4,000. It is going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. She can sign up for the bond and she will report to pretrial once a month. If she gets arrested again, or if she does not report to pretrial, or she doesn't comply with the conditions of the bond, she will be rearrested and the bond will be converted to a cash bond or a good bond. She is to stay away from 1144 Blue Ridge Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia. Have no further contact with Isaiah Smith. Stay 200 yards away from him. Do not communicate with him in any way, form, or manner, in person, through a phone, through a computer, through a third party, or through any social media. If Mr. Smith initiates contact, you are required by law to disregard any contact. You will have presently, since your child is born out of wedlock and legitimation has not taken place, you have full and primary custody of the child in question. Mr. Smith has no custodial rights and no visitation rights with regards to this child. So you are allowed to return to the property one time only at 1144 Blue Ridge Avenue with a police officer to retrieve your personal belongings and to retrieve your child. Do you understand? Yes. The police officer will be there to make sure there's no breach of peace. Mr. Smith, you are required to relinquish the child back to Ms. Slay with no breach of peace because no legitimation action has been filed to date. No legitimation order has been issued to date. Ms. Slay, you are not to consume any illegal drugs, no alcohol. You'll be subject to random screens by pretrial. And you are to complete a one-day anger awareness program with pretrial services. You understand, sir, ma'am? All right. Thank you. That concludes this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I please be excused?
Yes, Ms. Milton, you have a long day. You take care. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that concludes our calendar. And so we'll just, number 8.
Yeah. One more.
William Stowers. Let's
Yes.
find out what's going on.
Yes,
Position
yes,
one, Melissa Adams was a $3,000 signature bond. Next court date further notice. Position 2 is a $9,000 signature bond through pretrial. Next date further notice. Position 3 is a, I think was a $4,000 signature bond.
I have it as
I got
$5,000 signature bond. And that's per judge.
Yes.
And reset date will be for the notice. I think her address is in Macon, Georgia. Position 4 is a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial. Reset date for the notice. Position 5 is a $3,000 surety bond. Reset date April 21st. Position 6 is a $500 surety bond. Reset dates April 21st. Position 7 is a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial. Reset date for the notice. And position 8, William Stowers. Do we know where he is?
Found it out.
He's
I found it
released.
out.
Okay. So his next court date will be further notice. All right, that concludes the calendar. Any questions, Ms. Gant,
Number
Ms.
9.
Harmon? Oh, number 9, excuse me, Miss. Yeah, I'm sorry, $2,000 surety bond, further notice to April 21st. All right. Okay,
You here tomorrow?
no. So I will see everyone on Saturday then. Take care. Take care. Bye-bye.